If you guys did not know, Twitter today, as of October 16th, has rolled out a TOS or Terms of Service update that literally none of us asked for. And apparently, in the update, it allows them to use your artwork for AI. We have made some updates to our TOS. The version of TOS will go into effect on November 15th, 2024. Until then, the current Terms of Service continued. So here is a summary of the terms. This is really long, but let's just read the summary, okay? Point one, you will see advertising on the platform. In exchange for our services, our third platforms will offer ads. I'm just saying, bro, we gotta do what you gotta do, but also like the ads are weird. I've gotten so many like NFT ads, I'm losing my mind, like pushing NFT ads on Twitter. They're not gonna stop, but So number two, when posting content and otherwise using these services, you must comply with this user agreement and applicable law. You are responsible for your use of the service and your content. You must comply with this user agreement, these incorporated policies, and all applicable laws. Okay. You must abide by these services acceptable terms. You may not access the service in any other way than through the currently available and published interfaces. So you cannot scrape the service without X's express written permission, try to work around any technical limit. I wonder how that's gonna affect like these scraping websites like Wayback Machine and other stuff. We have broad enforcement rights. X reserves the right to take enforcement action against you if you do violate these terms, for example, removing your content, limiting visibility, or discontinuing your access to X. There are intellectual property licenses in these terms. This is where the interesting part comes in, okay? You retain ownership and rights to any of your content you post or share, and you provide us with a broad, royalty-free license to make your content available to the rest of the world and to let others do the same. Okay. Conversely, we provide you a license to use the software we provide as part of our service, such as the X mobile application, solely for the purpose of enabling you and enjoy the benefit of the services. Oh, was that in the old TOS? Because I'm not a lawyer, so take this with a grain of salt. I'm not a lawyer, right? Basically, TLDR, with any post you make on Twitter, you give Twitter, or X now, a broad royalty-free license. The thing is though, Twitter is a social media platform, so in terms of social media, they do need to legally have terminology that allows them to showcase your post to other people. That wording is interesting. I'm curious as to what that actually allows. We provide the service as an as is and as available basis. The intellectual property is what I'm curious about. Your rights and grant of right in the content. You retain the rights to any content you submit, post, or display on or through our services. What's yours is yours. You own your content, okay? And your incorporated audio, photos, and videos are considered part of the content. Okay, by submitting, posting, or displaying content on or through these services, which is Twitter, you grant us a worldwide, non-exclusive, royalty-free license, non-exclusive because you still own your content, royalty-free license with the right to sub-license, copy, reproduce, process, adapt, and modify is where I'm a little like, what? Publish, transmit, display, upload, download, and distribute such content in any and all media or distribution methods now known or later developed for any purpose. For clarity, these rights include, for example, curating, transforming, and translating. This license authorizes us to make your content available to the rest of the world to let others do the same. You agree that this license includes the right for us to analyze text and other information you provide, promote, and improve these services, including, for example, for use with and training of our machine learning and artificial intelligence models, whether generative or another type. They literally put it in the TOS. We're allowed to analyze text and other information refers to other stuff like media, photos, videos, so that they can go and train it for machine learning and their AI, Grook, or whatever it's pronounced, okay, and any other future AI they plan on developing, to make content submitted to or through the service available to other companies, organizations, or individuals. Wow. Including, for example, for improving the service and the syndication, broadcast, distribution, repost, promotion, or publication of such content on other media and services. I think that's where the sub-licensing clause is. Subject to our terms and conditions for such content use. Such additional uses by us or other companies, organizations, or individuals is made with no compensation paid to you. So they could yoink your shit, sub-license it to other companies, and then you don't get paid. To the content that you submit, post, transfer, or otherwise make available through these services, and the use of these services by you is hereby agreed as being sufficient compensation for the content and grant of rights herein. So basically, TLDR, ability to use Twitter is a gift, and that is compensation enough for them to yoink your shit. But wow, so we just read the TOS, and that is pretty gross. Let's take a look at what some people on Twitter said. Let's see, okay? First Next up, we have Ryan Fay, who goes by the Twitter handle Rhinos, writing, if you saw that notice about a terms of service update, this is the main clause it changed. It explicitly lets Twitter use your post and any attached media, including images, videos, and their audio, for the training of AI models like Grok. It will be in effect November 15th. And then the words highlighted is upload, download for any purpose, yes, analyze text and other info, and including use of training machine learning and AI, whether generative or another type. That is exactly what we just read. Ryan adds, prior to this terms change, users were able to opt out of training models like Grok, but this addition appears to succeed that, leaving it a mandatory part of Twitter use. To expand this thread to give further context, 1. Yes, the blanket wording of TOS means that this would apply to private accounts too. Yes, this appears illegal in the EU under the AI Act. However, such laws don't exist in many jurisdictions, including the United States. Other companies like Meta have implemented location-based policy. If you're in the EU, you can opt out, but otherwise you cannot. Let's look back here because there is an EU section if we go all the way down here. If we go to the contents, in the EU section of number 3, content on the services, your rights and grant of the right, it's in the content. It reads, wow! For clarity, these rights include, for example, curating, transforming, translating. This license authorizes us to make your content available to the rest of the world. However, if you have chosen via our features to limit the distribution of your content to a restricted community, we will respect that choice. You also agree that this license, yeah, the AI thing here, but the to limit is interesting. That was not, did I see that here? That statement of if you choose to limit your exposure, then we will respect that. That is not mentioned in the overarching TOS. It is mentioned in the EU section of the TOS. As a journalist, I would ask Twitter for comment, but Mr. Muskrat made it so that the press contact auto replies, busy now, please check back later, which effectively tells me to go F myself. And then ToonBrains tweeted, they're gonna be using your tweets to train AI from the new terms of service. Remember to switch this off. Would that even work though? Because you can't really opt out. The TOS has like an overarching, like we can use it point blank period. Like from my interpretation of the TOS as a non-lawyer, it reads to me, if you are on Twitter, we can yoink your shit. That's what it reads to me in the American version, right? EU has a different version. The American version might apply to other countries as well. We have Clef Test writing, jokes on them, the quality of the average Twitter post is gonna downgrade Grok into a moron. Oh, that's actually funny as hell. There is no mention of machine learning in the old TOS. The thing is, there doesn't seem to be an opt-out. There really doesn't seem to be an opt-out. Dude, can I yoink my art off Twitter or something? And here we have Sheena adding their 2 cents, writing, all the poor artists and creators on Twitter. Prior to today, you could opt out of having your posts used for AI and generative training. The new amended terms and conditions have made it impossible to do so. That is the highlight. We already read through these. And then Sheena adds, so where do we go now? The idea of starting from scratch on another social media is so tedious. Wow. And then, you know, B-Sky, people are talking about new platforms. Time to become a heavy watermark user. I'm dead. Wow. Sakura Art's art is beautiful though. I love this. But man, that's a lot of watermarks. J-Lock adds, TPH at this point, it might be worth it to any artist getting in the habit of poisoning their work when they want to post it to this hell site. And Crystelia adds, TPH, it's not worth it to stay here anymore from a content creator perspective, but also just from a person who consumes media. Artists, etc. are not going to post here anymore with this new TOS, so why would I even use Twitter to view, much less to post my own stuff? So honestly, my biggest concerns over this is just the quality of Twitter in general, okay? Twitter has been a cesspool for a very long time. We all know that Twitter is a cesspool. The big thing at the end of the day is, in order to be on social media platforms, right? Viewers and users want to be on social media platforms their favorite creators are on. And if their favorite creators do not want to create on those platforms would cease to exist. I feel like a lot of social media platforms forget that it's a very top-down system. If there's no creators to draw in an audience, then the audience will leave. Point blank simple. And if artists don't want to be on Twitter because Twitter is going to train their Grok and whatever AI models on your artwork, people are gonna leave. There's a new Twitter block update too. This is tweeted out by the Ackman YouTube. What is the actual reason for this change? The block feature is basically uniform across all of social media. How does this make anything better on Twitter? Genuinely cannot figure out the logic behind this. And it reads, block is changing soon. If your posts are set to public, accounts you have blocked will be able to view them, but they will not be able to engage. For more control over who can see your posts, you can still protect your account. Which genuinely, why? If you guys didn't know, Twitch did not have that feature for the longest time. So on Twitch, if you block somebody, they would still be able to watch your streams. Everybody was hella pissed about it, and everybody was complaining about it for a very long time, and Twitch finally changed it. So now if you block somebody on Twitch, they actually can't watch your streams, okay? Nice progression forward. Why did Twitter regress backwards into the Ice Age and decide, you know, the whole point of blocking somebody? Yeah, I'm just gonna make it so that they can see your post anyways. But honestly, it might be interesting because people might not realize they're blocked then, right? I think that's so dumb. Twitter, why did you choose to do this, by the way? Why did you take a step backwards and make it so that blocking people doesn't actually do the point of blocking blocking somebody. So anyways, these are the new Twitter updates. I'm curious, guys, what are your thoughts on these updates about the TOS update about allowing AI to be trained on any post you make and about the new block changes? I personally am not a fan of either. Me personally, I will probably still use Twitter because for now, it kind of serves as like content creator LinkedIn. However, I will not be posting art on there because I'm not trying to have them yoink my shit. So that's a no from me, dog. I'm just gonna like, I guess, fill it up with shitty MS Paint drawings or something and call it a day. So yeah, that update, not great. Definitely not great.